What is up, everybody? Kyle here. It is Saturday, and that only means one thing. It's weekly purchases, the time of the week where we both chat about what came through the door via UPS, DHL, Amazon, my dad, my grandma, my kids, my dog, my wife, and anybody else that might have brought me something. Anyways, this is the week where we share the weekly show and tell of what came through the door for me, figure related. We also catch up on some news and a few other things, and holy cow, busy week, busy week. A lot of announcements yesterday on Friday via Hasbro, wrestling, pre-orders going up. It was kind of the end of the week, got all the news. A few things during the week, some figure announcements that I'm totally excited for, but let's get into it before we get into the weekly purchases. And the first thing I want to talk about this week, did anybody check eBay? I talked about it last week in weekly purchases, but the Hasbro mail-away Undertaker figure, for the first time in I don't know how long, we finally got one up in bag on eBay. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending if you got it or not, it went for over $4,000. Unbelievable. My big regret, one of my big ones, is not getting that long ago. That's the only figure I'm missing in my Hasbro collection. At this point, I don't think I'll ever get it. Funny story, I was going to go all in. I said, okay, I doubt I'll win, but I'm putting $2,000 in. A ridiculous amount of money for that figure, the size of that figure and everything, but I'm putting $2,000 in. And the high bid was at $1,200 or something at the time. I put $2,000 in, immediately declined. I said, well, I'm out. I'm done with this. I mean, it's ridiculous to even spend $2,000 on that figure. I don't see a day where it comes back to planet Earth. But it's just unfortunate. I'll always have that hole in my heart and that hole in my collection. And I don't think very many of us that watch this video, unfortunately, don't have that mail-away Undertaker. And it's really not different than the other two Undertakers. Not a whole lot different, just a little bit of hair color difference. But at the end of the day, completists, we need to have everything. And it just pains me that I'm missing that one. And it's just looking like I'll probably never get that in my collection, because I just cannot imagine spending $4,000 on that figure. Maybe if it was some kind of special warrior figure or something along them lines. But anyways, if the winner out there is watching this, say congratulations. I mean, holy cow, that's a big deal. But anyways, so this week was a major announcement week. You know, San Diego Comic-Con is a week from this weekend, I guess, so a week away, basically. And that's where a ton of announcements come. But in prior years, we saw this last year, a lot of announcements came the week before. So we got a lot of announcements on Friday and a few during the week, like I talked about. But let's start it off with Super 7. They were coming in extremely hot this week. They threw a teaser up, I think it was Tuesday night, of a little skull and crossbones type thing and a skull with blood in it. And I saw that, and me being a heavy metal guy like a lot of you guys are, I immediately saw that. I said, there's Melissa. We're getting a King Diamond figure. And I know people have reached out and said, oh, there's reaction King Diamond figures. Well, those reaction things are little Star Wars type figures. I don't do those. Don't like those. They just don't work for me. I do have the Motorhead ones, as you guys have seen before. But they are making a fully detailed 7-inch King Diamond figure, officially announced on Thursday with pictures. Just awe-inspiring. I am so excited for that line. I can see them making possibly Iron Maiden figures, Motorhead figures, Misfits figures. There's so many different bands that I love that we could be seeing figures of. If we could get a Super 7 Lemmy figure, holy cow. I don't know what I would do. I don't know how many I would buy. I'd want one in my office. I need an open one, a closed one. It would just be breathtaking. I love Super 7 stuff. You guys know I got all the Thundercats, New Japan. I have so much stuff ordered from them. The gripe that everybody has on Super 7, we're going to talk more Super 7 in a second, you're waiting a year. Once they announce a figure, they have a month of pre-orders, and you basically have a year from there to wait. That's the worst thing. People hate getting your money tied up. I totally get it. I always said it. I've said it in videos before. My recommendation on any of those pre-orders for Super 7, stuff like that, don't order from Super 7. They take your money right away. Then they're going to sit on your money for a year. Go to Big Bad Toy Store. That's where I get a lot of my stuff from. It's the same price, but they do not charge you till it ships. I know some people say, hey, I want to just be charged right away. That's fine if that's good with you. I don't like people gaining interest on my money for a year. So I put it in Big Bad Toy Store. I'm pretty much guaranteed, 99.99% guaranteed I'm going to get it from Big Bad Toy Store. And then I don't have to pay till it ships. It's the best of both worlds. I guess take your pick which one you'd rather do. But just know, hey, this King Diamond, I think August 14th is going to be the shutoff for pre-orders. I recommend every single one of you guys get one. One of the coolest heavy metal guys of all time. One of my favorite bands, Merciful Fate. I'm glad they went with the Merciful Fate edition King Diamond first. I guarantee there'll be a modern-day King Diamond shortly after. Love King Diamond. Love this. Hopefully this line continues. Just awesome, awesome stuff. But then, Friday, we got the announcement from the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast that Matt Cardona, Brian Myers are getting a Super 7 license. They've been teasing an announcement all week. My heart of hearts, I thought they were going to join Jazzwares. And it's very funny is I saw the night before, a couple days before, Matt Cardona liked a tweet from Super 7 of King Diamond, and that's what made me think, hey, maybe they're going to go to Jazzwares. I should have followed my intuition and said, hey, they're going to Super 7. But huge pickup for Super 7. It looks like they're dipping their toes even more into wrestling. Obviously, those two figures, but they also announced Gallows and Anderson. They are going to have figures as well. So I think we're going to start seeing some of those independent guys, people getting releases outside of the Mattel brand or the AEW brand. We're going to see some very similar to FTC, possibly. Say what you want about the FTC figures. There's a couple of ones I have in my collection. The Blue Meanie, Shane Douglas. Some that are coming out, Francine, Chris Candido, that I'll definitely want to pick up. But then there's some I just want nothing to do with. But Super 7, they do dynamite stuff. Awesome, awesome stuff. I hope they add to the collection. I think they will be. I think they're going to have a whole wrestling line. They got the New Japan Pro Wrestling figures. They can reuse some of those body molds. It makes sense. I just hope we don't have to wait a full year for those figures. But I bet you it'll be at least 8 to 12 months before any of these Super 7 figures get released. So that's that with Super 7. Very exciting news. It's gonna, competition rises all ships. We always say, I deal with this in my real world job. I work for a major company where we're the best at what we do and the biggest at what we do. Part of you doesn't want competition, but you need competition to keep moving you forward, making sure you're on your toes at all times. And that's what Super 7 is going to do to Mattel, AEW, everybody. Everybody's going to want to get better. I know some people say, well, Super 7 doesn't play with Mattel and AEW because one figure is the price of 2 Mattels. Well, that's because they make so many Mattels, all that kind of stuff. But the more companies that are making stuff, the better figures as a whole we're going to get. Because the ones that can't cut it, the ones that aren't making stuff people want, gone. They're going to move on out. So that's just the way it works in the retail world and the business world. From my own experience. So there you go. Take notes, and you can use that tip in your personal life if you want to. NECA, a lot of mixed emotions. I'd hate to be NECA this week because the Turtle pre-order went and turned into a disaster, as they always do at Target. Trying to get Metalhead. My wife was working the phone real hard. She's the phone Target expert. She basically lives at Target. That's basically her second home, Target. She spent so much time there. But she was trying to get it, and even at 2 o'clock in the night, Friday night, or Thursday, early Friday morning at 2 o'clock, her phone rang and she got up and there was a notification that Metalhead came back in stock. She tried to get it, immediately sold out again. So she missed it twice. You guys saw my weekly fig hunting video. I was out hunting the Ninja Turtles. I knew I was probably a little bit early, but better safe than sorry. Trying to stock my targets. Next week there's going to be a ton of Target visits. I'm going to find that Metalhead. I'm going to find that Casey Jones Foot Soldier 2-pack. I gotta find those. I gotta help my boy Waylon Jennings out. He's helped me out, and we got each other's back on this. We'll get it figured out. But back to NECA. Let's not talk Turtles. I don't want to beat a mean subject in. But NECA released pictures of the new Misfits. Basically a repaint, but a holiday kind of costume for the Fiend, the original Fiend from the Misfits. They've released these figures before, but a holiday theme. This is gonna go great on my mantle for come Christmas time. So I love the Misfits. I love this. I'm definitely all over that one, that is for sure. And then Friday, we got pre-order announcements off Ringside Collectibles. Ringside, you want your figures first. That's where I usually go and pre-order from. And I definitely pre-ordered Elite 79. So Elite 79 pre-order, I believe, coming the end of August, early September, somewhere in that time frame. But you got Daniel Bryan. You got Bobby Fish ×2, as Bobby Fish will be the chase. You got Big E. You got Xavier Woods, Roman Reigns, and then you got Io Shirai, the first time in the line. Kind of a mixed lineup, nothing really too exciting. I don't foresee Bobby Fish being a huge mover as far, people are going to be going crazy for his regular and chase, so I don't think that chase will be the hardest to get. We got Roman a million times, Daniel Bryan a million times. But a set you got to have. You can't have every set just be absolute craziness. You need to get some of these other guys out, and that's what they're doing. So Elite 79, a good set, but not a great set. But definitely pre-order day one for me. You know how I roll. That's what I did. The other exciting news was the pre-order for the Goldberg Bret Hart 2-pack. That's a cool 2-pack. I know mixed emotions on that one too. You know, that was the end of Bret Hart's career. Goldberg kicked him in the head on accident. That's all she wrote for Bret. Really sucked because I do, like a lot of you guys out there, love Bret Hart. But it'll be cool to get a WCW United States title apparently in this set. It'll be really interesting to see what the Bret Hart looks like. I'm guessing jeans and maybe the little plate that he wore in his waist for that cool moment with the hockey jersey. I'm hoping we get all that. That would be pretty awesome. But we'll see. Pictures will probably come at San Diego Comic-Con. I would have to imagine next week I'll be able to show you guys all the pictures of those, and you'll probably see them beforehand. But there's some cool wrestling related releases coming up to pre-order, so get on those. I pre-ordered those right away. And then Friday was a huge day, and one I was anticipating all week. The major Hasbro Pulse reveal on G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe 3 3/4 coming back to Walmart shelves. Long rumored. Well, we finally saw pictures of the first wave where we got Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, and the Baroness. Very cool cards, very throwback, bring me back to my childhood. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I'm over the 3 3/4. That's what I grew up with. I loved. I got all the 25th anniversary stuff, the G.I. Joe Club. I got a room dedicated to G.I. Joes. But I'm all in on the 6-inch. I've moved to the 6-inch in my adult collecting years. I love the G.I. Joe Classified series. I'm hoping for retro 6-inch figures, very similar to the Star Wars movie figures they have. Do that with the retro card. Instead, they're going with semi-repaints of the 25th anniversary line. Basically the same body with a little different color and brand new heads. Going into this, I said, I'm all out. I'm not getting them. Well, I'll probably get them. You guys know me. I'm such a G.I. Joe fool. If I see those things on the shelves, I'm going to get them. I did not pre-order them at Walmart. I went, looked at the links, saw them. I said, I'm going to keep these mint on card, that's for sure, because I love the artwork. I love them. I'm keeping them in on card, but I don't trust Walmart. Walmart, if you're watching, I'm sure Sam Walton Jr. is watching this video. I think he watches every week. I'm pretty sure. But I can't order from Walmart because these will be mint in box, mint on card, and I know they will come to me damaged, and I'll have nothing but disappointment. So I'm going to play the game of finding them at the store. I think I'll be okay. I usually find everything I need. If not, I'm sure somebody will help me out. So they got those 3 in the first wave, and they also got the Hiss Tank, of course, probably Cobra's most iconic vehicle, and then the Awe Striker, the AWE Striker, whatever you want to call it, with crankcase. You know, that one's a special place in my heart because that's one of the first Joe vehicles I really remember. I remember being so excited in kindergarten, a little story time, kindergarten, bringing that Awe Striker to show and tell, having it up on the register, like a kind of a heater thing is where we had to put our show and tell stuff. The teacher knocked over a crankcase. He fell between the wall and stuff down to the basement. I never got crankcase again. Very, very memorable for me. Heartbreaking. I had the Awe Striker, but crankcase only lasted about a week in my collection to never return. I had the 25th anniversary Awe Striker and all that, but I'll be getting this one for the memories as well. But like I said, I will be keeping all these in box. But I'd be lying if I said I was really hoping for 6-inch in the retros. I think that is where the money is. I don't understand Hasbro's philosophy on this because I know how hard it is to get on the shelves at Walmart and Target. You got to make a big splash. If you got a new line, it's got to win. It's got to be hot and heavy out of the gate because you might not get a second chance. I get that they're saying, oh, we'll save the traditional Cobra Commander and Storm Shadow. We'll save those for down the line. I understand wanting to do that, but go with your heaviest of hitters in Series 1. Make a footprint, make some action, make some noise, make some turns on that shelf, because if you're not turning product, you're going to lose your space. I mean, I think I've talked about this before, but I just think that's a huge miss on this G.I. Joe Classified series that, you know, the rug could be pulled out from under us and we might not get some of the ones we want. I'm looking at Flint. That's who I want the most. Flint's my all-time favorite. I need a Flint figure, and I can't let this series go without getting a Flint. So I'm hoping there's a long-term future. I hope sales are good. I just don't know if people have the feelings I do for G.I. Joe like they do Star Wars. I always hear, oh, look what they do with Star Wars. We got to be honest with ourselves out there. Star Wars is a massive empire. Movies, cartoons, continually going. G.I. Joe has been kind of out of existence. My kids, 9 and 5, they have no idea what G.I. Joe is besides me forcing them to watch the old Blu-rays with me. But besides that, Star Wars has been around. It's been in people's faces. People understand and know Star Wars. So G.I. Joe isn't Star Wars, and they're not even Transformers. Transformers is always around. So we're fooling ourselves a little bit if we think we're going to get all this G.I. Joe stuff, because it literally might not sell. We need everybody out there that's interested to buy it so we can keep it going. There's my little G.I. Joe rant. You guys know I love G.I. Joes. They also showed an exclusive coming to Hasbro Pulse in September. It'd be G.I. Joe Cobra Commander, another one. So this will be the third repaint of the same figure. We all want that masked Cobra Commander. I don't know when we're going to get that. Yeah, that's a huge miss. We need that one. I would also love the traditional Cobra Commander. I'm sure that's being set for the retro line whenever that does come. But we're getting like an Emperor Cobra Commander that is cool. The box is cool. Very similar to that Hasbro Snake Eyes we got. I kind of compare it to that. It's going to be on sale. Hasbro Pulse in September. That's going to be a must-have. I love the cape on that thing. It looks like the cape's kind of moving. It must have wire in it and stuff. A fantastic figure. I'm not sure which one I like of the three. As of right now, for the pictures I've seen, I like the one with the cape, the regal, and the scepter and all that. Really, really awesome looking thing right there. That is for sure. So there's a little G.I. Joe update. Talked last week about the Hasbro Sentinel. I'm still on the fence. Well, I'm not on the fence. I'm definitely ordering. I think it goes through August 24th is the ordering of the Sentinel on Hasbro Pulse. I'm getting one for sure, but I'm not sure if I need 2 or 3. I keep going back and forth, so I'm going to wait until I can figure out what I really want in my head. I kind of want 2 because they look good, but I also think 3 would look good. And here's the game. I think we talked about it before. Guys, this is an investment. I don't like to talk about figures as an investment, but you buy one of these, you sit on it for 6 months after it comes out, I guarantee you could pay for at least another Sentinel or something along there. There's going to be a lot of people that miss out on this. This is a jewel. This is almost an aircraft carrier type piece for a collection that you got to have. I'm thinking about buying 3 for myself, maybe 1 extra even, that I will just sit on and save and flip it. Because I guarantee you, you wait a year after they come out, you could probably flip that one to pay off 2 or 3 of the ones you pre-ordered, and basically like you got it for free. Like I said, I don't talk about investment like that, but this is truly one of those items and truly a big piece that people will definitely order multiples of. There's a lot of people ordering multiples of these because that makes sense with the Sentinels. And I know a lot of people out there saying, Mattel, you need to get that arena set up. Look, you can do the same as the Sentinels. I don't disagree. I'm a day one buyer. If they put an arena out there, we all want a sweet arena that would go great. And Mattel could do it right. Maybe they will. And hopefully maybe San Diego Comic-Con will get some kind of announcement there. But you guys got to remember, I think an arena will cost more than a Sentinel because it's so much more. It's bigger. It's more pieces. So it could be $400 or $500, let's say. But you guys got to remember, people aren't going to be buying multiple arenas. I'm not buying 3 arenas, 2 arenas. People are buying multiple Sentinels. That's why it's hit 10,000 backers in less than a week. I don't know about a huge arena setup. We got to think like modern day, do people have the space for that? You know, a Sentinel is pretty thin and tall. An arena, that takes up a table. Where's a little kid, where's little Johnny going to do that? Yes, adult collectors will buy it, but they're buying one. And does everyone have room? There's collectors out there that live in a studio apartment. There's some that live in a big house that have tons of room that got room for those. So you got to take a step back and always think the business side of it. I hate to preach the business side because that's not the fun side of anything. If you're selling hammers or whatever, it's the fun thing is selling at the stores. But anyways, there it is. That's kind of my little business philosophy there. Kyle's Toy Business 101, or basically dealing with Walmart Target 101. So there is that. Next week, we'll probably have to do a San Diego Comic-Con special episode or something, because I have a feeling we'll have like an hour of stuff to talk about and show. So we'll see what comes of that. Today being Saturday, maybe Sunday, maybe Monday, I finally filmed a Q&A video. A lot of people were asking for it. I don't know if all you guys will enjoy it or not, but I did answer some of the questions I've got from YouTube comments and some Twitter, Instagram comments. Sir Paul64 on Twitter, Kyle, _Kyle _Peterson on Instagram. If you want to follow me or communicate, I post a lot of stuff on there. A lot of questions were answered, and I had a special guest join me. I said, I don't want to just sit here and read questions. I want somebody to read them to me. And I found the perfect gentleman to come and join me for that. So be aware of that. Somebody a lot of you guys will know. It was great to have him guest on the show with me. So that is for sure. So the last thing I got, I've been wordy. I feel like the Micro Machines guy. If you guys remember him, I've been talking fast. For coming up the album of the week. So a new feature we've done the last few weeks out there. And this week, what was Kyle listening to? What heavy metal or rock or whatever you want to call it? Anthrax Worship Music. Oh gosh, it's like been I think 5 years now since that came out. It seemed like it was just yesterday, but it was Anthrax return to form. Joey Belladonna joined the band again. One of the greatest albums of the 2000s for sure. It was definitely my album of the year that year it came out. Saw them many a time on that tour. Just Anthrax hammering on all cylinders. Just a can't miss album. If you've never heard that, you've got to check it out. It's one of the greatest albums ever. I love the Dio tribute on there. Just totally awesome album. So Anthrax, Worship Music, Album of the Week. Besides that, I got everything talked about. I talked about the turtle anxiety. I'm patenting that one because the turtle anxiety is a real thing. Hopefully you guys were enjoying some of my other videos during the week. Some of the unboxings out there. The Casey Jones Ultimate Editions, 2-pack China Triple H, the Jakks deep dive video. A lot of content, new video every single day. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the old notifications. Besides that, let's get into it. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. Let's get into the weekly purchases. All right, guys, let's start it off. Let's get talking about weekly purchases. Great week, big week. A lot of different stuff this week. You know, we got some Jakks, you got some LJN, you got some stuff besides wrestling. We got some custom-made stuff. We got a crazy week of weekly purchases. So let's jump into it. We'll start with something really special. I got this off a Facebook group, got hooked up. Something really neat. You guys know I'm not a huge customs guy. But I could not pass this one up. Got a heck of a deal to kind of try it out. I think I'm one of the first people out there getting the Good Brother hookup with this one. But check that out. Cobra, 3D printed Cobra G.I. Joe throne. How awesome is this? I almost like the looks of it how it is now. It's unpainted. I'm not a painter, that's for sure. Dave Wheeler, if you're watching out there, I've messaged Dave Wheeler, custom expert. Look him up. He gave me some tips of what I should use to buy to paint this, but part of me is almost looking, keep it like this, and it kind of looks like an old stone throne. But I grabbed a figure to put on here. How about the Ultimate Warrior? We'll sit him on there, on the throne. But how awesome is this? I mean, that is dynamite. That just blows me away. Totally cool. It's awesome what 3D printers can do. I wish I had one. I wish I knew how they worked. I am not the most technical inclined. I know enough to get by. Definitely don't know 3D printers, but this Cobra throne is just awesome. I got to figure out if I'm going to paint it or not, like I said, but this is really going to be awesome. What we talked about that Cobra Commander coming out with the cape, the Regal Cobra Commander. How great is he going to look on this? Or even if I could get Serpentor, if he could come out soon, but absolutely cool. I wanted to show that thing off first. And then I went to Michael's. I always got G.I. Joe on the mind. Wrestling and G.I. Joe, those are my two loves. Well, I went to Michael's craft store. Make sure you use a coupon. Don't ever buy anything at Michael's and Hobby Lobby without a coupon because they're always there. I bought a little wolf. I believe it's called like Poco, P-O-C-O. A wolf, a white wolf, and this will be timber to go along with the Snake Eyes of the G.I. Joe set. So I got this. I think it was like $4.58 or something like that. Something ridiculously cheap. But you need a timber with Snake Eyes. At least you know we'll get one day, but I wanted to get ahead of it, and that one scales just pretty good. Let's talk Waylon Jennings. The Waylon Jennings portion of the show. I sent out the old bat signal. As you guys know, they announced that NECA Gremlin San Diego Comic-Con exclusive that was going to go to Walmart. Last week we talked about it on the videos. Well, it came out that Saturday. People all over the country started hitting it up, and I was texting back and forth with my buddy Waylon, saying, "Hey, Waylon, if you come across this one, let me know." And he said, "Well, I just left the Boone Walmart, and they had it." So he very graciously, always helping me out. That's why I got to find these turtles. I'm there to help you, Waylon. I owe you one. You found the last couple for me. So I owe you for sure. But he found the Gremlin. He found the Summer Games Gremlin for me, picked it up. Look at that. I know you guys were also watching with Waylon, or watching the video last week, G.I. Joe's, or last week, yesterday, my fig hunting video I put out on Friday. G.I. Joe Mania, it struck. I finally found him in the stores. You know, my heart swelled. It was so cool to see Joe's on the shelves again. And you guys know that first stop, Indianola, I found the Joe set, and who was missing? Destro. Of course Destro was missing. Why wouldn't he be? The only one I haven't gotten on pre-order yet. I showed Waylon the picture. I said, look, of course, I found them all but Destro. Keep your eyes out for Destro. And I'm not kidding you. Literally like 2 seconds later, he said, oh, is this the one you need? He scanned a picture of it. He picked up Destro for me. So Waylon Jennings, thank you again. Found Destro. I am complete on an open set of G.I. Joes. I can finally do an unboxing video. I've been waiting. That's been the delay. I want to open them all up at once and talk about them. So that will be coming soon. G.I. Joe unboxing video. That's going to be a long one because I'm going to be so excited to open in that one. But I thank Waylon. You know, when I think of Waylon, he's younger than me. You know, he's an old outlaw, but he's younger than me, believe it or not. And I always think of the Tenacious D song about Dio being too old to rock. It's time for him to pass the torch. It very well could be time for this old man to pass the torch of being the figure hunter supreme over to Waylon Jennings. He's found the Turtles for me. He's found Destro. He found the Gremlin. He found Christian Elite 77 for me. And a few other things besides that. So, Waylon, thank you. You know, Kyle's too old to rock, and it's time for me to pass the torch to you, I think, Waylon. It very well could be. I might have to give up my fig hunting king title, just be a casual player once again, and let Waylon find it all for me. But there you go. But as you saw in those videos, G.I. Joe, Roadblock, Duke, Scarlet, Snake Eyes. Yeah, I already have them. I had to buy another set, keep it in box. And then what else did I find a couple days later after I got it from Waylon? I found my own Destro, so the kid still has it. I've still found everything. The only thing I haven't found that I want recently is the Yellow Power Ranger, but I luckily had help with that one. So there's the Joe set right there. Could not resist having two. We'll see what I do. Depends how long. I want to believe this line will last a really long time. My heart says yes, but my head says not sure. So I want to have two sets. If it gets wild and crazy and we're up to 400 characters one day, I'm going to have to probably rethink it because that's a lot of box space. But as of right now, I'm all in a loose and a minimum box set. So there you go. Also this week, Motorhead store, they had a big sale before 4th of July, and I needed some new Motorhead shirts. I got like 100 Motorhead shirts. My favorite band of all time, as you guys know. But if you bought a shirt, you got a Motorhead mask. So look at that. I'm ready. There it is. You know, I got going through masks, and I'm sick of wearing just masks that just don't say heavy metal or something. I have a Misfits mask. Now I got a Motorhead mask. So I'm cool with that. Also got this t-shirt along. You can never have enough Motorhead t-shirts. I think I already have 3 of this shirt, or 2. Now I got 3. Motorhead, there it is. Everybody should have a Motorhead shirt. Well, I take that back. If you don't listen to Motorhead, you shouldn't have a Motorhead shirt. I'm one of those guys. If you don't know the band, don't wear the shirt, please. It makes it awkward if I come up and give you the horns and we talk Lemmy and you don't even know who I'm talking about. And then I got this awesome reproduction, I guess, of a famous Lemmy shirt from the early 80s he used to wear all the time. Got my own very awesome quality off the Motorhead store. Got to get Motorhead shirts. You know me. How about we move into LJNs? The LJN quest continues. As of right now, I'm only missing 3. So we're going to have another couple of weeks of videos because they take a while to come in, of course. But I'm only missing 3. Make that probably 4 because it sounds like Mr. Billy Jack Haynes is lost in the mail, never to return. I'm going to get refunded. Very, very frustrating because I got a great price on that Billy Jack Haynes. And I saw one that was even cheaper the other day that I missed out on because I thought this one would be coming. But the mail has been absolutely atrocious. We've talked about it before. I think I have 3 packages currently lost in the mail. You know, it's one thing if it's a $4 Jakks figure that's easily replaceable, but when you're losing a Billy Jack Haynes that cost you around $100, it's just frustrating. But it is what it is. But this week I did get Slick, a favorite of mine as a kid. I loved having Slick. Have him now on the LJN quest. Crossed off the list. Slick. I also picked up, you saw a couple weeks ago, I got the white one. Now I have the blue referee. So my referee set is complete. Very happy to have both referees done. And then I saw a deal that I jumped on right away. I kind of said a few weeks back in the video, I'm not going to do all the crazy variants unless they just pop up and get them. Like the Jimmy Hart. I got Jimmy Hart with hearts on his megaphone. A decent price. Said, I might as well get it. I'll get it eventually. I got it. Well, same thing happened this week. So just call me the Jesse Ventura Whisperer. So got 3 Jesse Venturas this week. It was on a lot on eBay. $30 for the whole lot, but I needed the dark-haired variant. I already have the light, so I got some extra Jessies. I might take one in my office at work if I ever get to go back there full-time. I think Jesse fit in really well sitting on my desk at work, so that would be cool. All right, well, let's get into some more stuff. Playing the long game. I always talk about it with Star Wars. I like to play the long game on Star Wars. If the some of them I jump on right away. Some of them I play the long game. Here's one I played the long game. The Elite Praetorian. Some of these things I can't pronounce. I mean, come on, who am I? But I needed that guard. I think I need one more of these to guard Snoke. But finally picked one of these up. Only $10 on eBay. Heck of a deal. Finally got that one knocked off. Playing the long game again. I didn't get in. I hate pre-ordering stuff, especially when I feel I can find it at the stores, like basic waves of things. But sometimes it goes the wrong way, and I should have pre-ordered this. I did not, but I finally got it in the mail. Mint condition from Target. Stan Lee, the Stan Lee figure. I think I'll leave this one in the box. I think it means more in the box. I think I can set him in the back of a display and have some characters in front of him. Maybe I'll play the long game. This is one of those figures that are really hard to find right now. You don't see it around. I haven't seen it on store shelves once. It pops in and out of Target every once in a while. But something tells me one of these days cases of these are going to be flooding the shelves, and they're going to be like $6 on clearance. If that happens, I will buy another one to open. And this is also a great customization figure. You pop that head off, you can make him whoever you wanted in a suit. So I'll probably play the long game on that a little bit. Here's a line I passed on at the time. I was so mad. And we're going all the way back. Every Tuesday, you guys watch my Jakks Classic Superstars video. Every Tuesday, I drop a new video. Must view, I think. Even if there's a lot of people that love the line, a lot of people that don't know about it. Great learning. Let's dive in. Let's talk. Let's see pictures. Look at this line. I mean, this was the most groundbreaking line in wrestling figure history, if you ask me. That is what bridged the gap from the stuff that was really not as fun, not as detailed, to what we get now between Super 7, Mattel, Jazzwares with the AEW. Classic Superstars, just a groundbreaking figure line, that is for sure. So at the end of the run, and we'll talk about these in those videos, they cheaped out on a lot of stuff. And if very few people remember, I believe it was Toys R Us exclusive, but I think I remember seeing them at Target as well. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Best of Classic Superstars, where they started re-releasing figures from older series. The only difference was this little sticker and maybe the pose or the belt of the figure. I was so mad. I said, I'm not rebuying this Shawn Michaels. I already have this Shawn Michaels. Well, 15 years later, 20 years later, whatever it's been, let's see, 2005, do the math, carry the two. 15 years later, Kyle said, you know what, I do need the Shawn Michaels and all the best of. So I decided I'm going to complete that best of Classic Superstars set. You got Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Andre the Giant, Eddie Guerrero, Roddy Piper. Andre's the best change of that one. He's in a better position. They finally corrected Andre, is I guess what you would say based on his first one. But I'm going to get this whole set. I'll play the long game. You know, the Bret Hart's like $70. Andre's like $70. Eddie's pretty cheap, around $30. But I decided, hey, I better buy this. This will be one of the last reviews we do. So I got about a year to complete that collection. So I'll be poking away on those. But if somebody's got a good shaped Andre or Roddy Piper, Brett or whatever, and want to wheel and deal, hit me up on my social medias or something, and we'll talk about it. Speaking of talking about the long game, we talked about it with Star Wars. Classic Superstars, once again, I played the long game. I felt at the time there's no reason for me to get this. You know, my Classic Superstars, I usually pre-ordered off of Ringside back in the day. Well, during Series 14, you guys might remember this LJN-inspired Stone Cold Steve Austin that came in Series 14. Well, if you guys go way back in the day, you've probably seen this without the blue packaging, just the traditional black packaging. That was the first release that came. So I got that from Ringside, the black. And then later on in the stores, I saw this blue one. I said, I don't need it. The only difference is the packaging. It's not worth it to me. Obviously, I was younger, a college kid. My finances weren't quite the same as they are now, I guess we'll say. Like a lot of people, you don't have any money in college. I passed on the Austin. Well, for 20 years or whatever it's been, I've been playing the long game trying to get this one. All I've ever seen is damaged, beat up ones. Well, somehow, out of nowhere, I found this on a Facebook Marketplace post. I found this LJN and I snapped it up immediately. Very happy to finally have this. Been, semi-looking the last, 5-10 years for it. I'm very happy to have that one step closer to the total completion of that line. I'm still missing a lot of 1/100s. I don't know what my future holds on those. Maybe. They don't interest me. I don't really like that kind of stuff. But, I have the Piper and I have the Funk. I almost feel like I got to get the Sonny, the Slaughter, the Eddie, the Ray, and all that stuff. So we'll see. How about getting into Jakks, Ruthless Aggression, everybody's favorite. Series 11.5, Rene Dupree. This is another one of those weird ones. Hard to get, hard to find, doesn't come up very often, but it's one nobody really wants. I think I'm the only one out there with an eBay save search for Rene Dupree in the France type packaging tights. But for some reason, the UK, I guess you UK viewers, I know we got a lot of really good, loyal UK viewers here. What is it about that Rene Dupree, and why is there so many in the UK for sale? They're not for sale anywhere else. I don't think he was that big of a star over there. Or maybe it's just a weird anomaly. I don't know. But I finally got one from a US seller, so I didn't have to pay as much. But there's that Rene Dupree, so a very strange one. And another one, not worth a lot, but probably his rarest figure, Shelton Benjamin. I think this is the last Shelton I needed for my Ruthless Aggression set. A very, very strange figure that doesn't come up very often either. Elite Series 20 or Elite Series, Ruthless Aggression Series 23, Shelton Benjamin. So there it is. Got all the Sheltons done. Just a lot of weird ones left. Just weird ones like that you just don't see. I don't think anybody's really looking for. They just don't come up. Here's another one you guys saw in my figure hunting video. Very happy to get. Hadn't seen this one ever. Found it at Books A Million of all places. It's the Marvel Retro Beast. I love these retro packaging. I was, 9, 10, 11, 12 when this style card was out. I remember the first X-Men series of these. I was, I want to say 11 or 12, something like that. And my dad, he had a bunch of weeds in the yard. And my dad said, I'll give you a penny a piece for every single weed you pull. And you know what Kyle did on that hot summer day? He spent all day out there in the heat. And I pulled 2 huge garbage cans full of weeds, a penny a piece. And I counted them because I was an honest kid. I would never take advantage of my dad. My dad means a lot to me. And I counted every single one of those, and I forget what the amount was. It was a ridiculous amount at a penny a piece, 2 garbage cans full. But I'll never forget my dad saying, Dad, can we go to Toys R Us and get the set? I mean, there was like 5 in the set. And I said, I counted them all, they're here. And my dad just kind of patted me on the head and said, I'll take your word for it. Because I was thinking he'd want to count them all just to take my honesty out there. But a little story there, but it was something else. But I love these cards ever since then, and I think it's cool, the retro. We see it with the Star Wars as well. We got the G.I. Joe now in 3 3/4, but I want 6-inch G.I. Joe in this. That is my most wanted line ever. If we could just get that, Hasbro, please, what's it going to take? Get it for me. But happy to have the Gray Beast as part of the collection. Getting down to the home stretch. Now, we still got the Jakks Lucy to go, but we got one more package series to go. And this is, we've been talking Ruthless Aggression. Kyle, you're going to get every single one. Well, there was one glaring hole. And something I said, wait, I forgot. I think this counts. And I was perusing eBay like I do on a daily basis. And this came across, got into a hot bidding war, but I ended up winning out like I usually do. TNA, Walgreens exclusive, Jakks, Ruthless Aggression style figures. I don't know if a lot of people remember these. I remember passing hard on these, just being totally disgusted with things. When Jakks lost the WWE license, I didn't jump right over to TNA. But this set came out to Walgreens only, and TNA figures were primarily the deluxe aggression style figures. These were the RA type figures, cheaper for Walgreens. And boy, do they hold a special place to me now. As much as I love these Jakks, as we've been working together. We've been going down the rabbit hole together getting these Jakks figures. So I did win this set on eBay. You can see it here. Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, Jay Lethal, Sting. There's a heavy hitter, the Sting one. And then, of course, Suicide. I love people in masks. I love people with face paint. So there they are right there. You smart guys out there that know this set, what's missing? We all know there's one figure missing. I do not have it. Struck out finding a good addition, and that is Abyss. I'm looking for the Abyss like this. He's got a white kind of baseball jersey type thing going on, but everyone I've seen has been so scuffed up and beat up. Pretty hard to find. The hardest one, I think him and Sting are the hardest one to find in that set, but very excited to get this set. Cross this off my list. It's a one and done set. Part of me wants to leave this in the box. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do here. I got to think about it. I mean, I'd make a fun unboxing video. I could unbox all these. We could talk about them, play with them. That'd be cool. But I don't know. Part of me wants to keep these in. I got time to think, but I got these crossed off the list. I needed to get it crossed off. It just makes sense. If you're getting every single RA figure, you need that Jakks line as well via TNA. And that's exactly what I did. So now, let's get to the Lucy portion. You know, the Lucy Jakks, I always say they're dwindling and dwindling. We had a big week last week. This week was kind of middle of the road. Not a ton, but not just one or two. Let's get into it. I'm working my checklist. I spent a couple hours yesterday. I got a whole stack of figures I'm crossing off, making sure I got everything. I'm about done with the Ruthless Aggression, the main line, the Ring Rage, the Adrenaline, the Treacherous Trios. I'm about wrapped that up. I think I got maybe 15 to 20 left, if that. I got to look back because some of those, like Undertaker, for example, they released the same Undertaker in an Adrenaline pack and a Treacherous Trios. In my mind, I don't need two because it's the exact same figure. It's going to be loose. How would I even know which one it is? But if there's differences, I will buy it. But so there's Triple H came in this week, part of that line with the autograph on it. I like the autograph signature series in the BCA line. I didn't really care for it in the RA line, but is what it is. Kurt Angle, another Kurt Angle figure. There you go. Chris Masters, you look back at that Chris Masters unboxing video. I think I called it something like the unboxing nobody asked for. 3 Chris Masters figures. It's blowing up the internet. I think it has maybe the most views of an unboxing video of all time. Maybe it was just wrestling video of all time. I can't remember. And maybe I'm just totally lying to all you guys right now. But, you know, what do you do with an unboxing video of Chris Masters? It kind of is what it is. But I unboxed 3 Chris Masters figures. Go check that video out. But here's the final Chris Masters I was missing in the blue with tight decorations. If you guys remember that Off the Ropes Chris Masters, just blue. No decoration, no nothing. Basically based off that one. Here's a later model Randy Orton, part of that t-shirt series they did where everybody kind of had a t-shirt. They had Triple H. I forget who else was in there, but there's the Randy Orton from that. Let's see what else we got. How about R-Truth? There's R-Truth right there. Now, this is a very hard to get Ruthless Aggression. Maybe the last new character they made for WWE Ruthless Aggression figures. That very well could be that R-Truth figure. Doesn't come up a lot. Somebody just posted it, and I bought it immediately when it popped in. It's been on my watch list for a while, so I jumped all over that. Chris Jericho, another Jericho. I got to be about done with Jerichos. I think maybe one left. I forgot to mention Hot Garbage of the Week. We had, I think, a 2-week absence on the Hot Garbage of the Week. Unfortunately, here it is, Randy Orton. I love this figure, but I don't love the loosiness of the arm. And then somehow, I think in shipping, because the pictures were pretty detailed on the listing, but the guy just put it in a bubble mailer and that was it. No protection, nothing. Come on, guys. We got to ship things good. He got a little scuffed up on his hair. So we've had much worse Hot Garbage of the Week, but we'll count this one as the Hot Garbage of the Week because it's the closest thing to it, I would say. Maybe I'm wrong. Edge. I love Edge. I love the tights they used on Edge. Unfortunately, Ruthless Aggression 35 was supposed to be in the mail this week. Another package lost by the post office. Disappeared forever. Got a refund. So I'm on the hunt for Edge, Ruthless Aggression 35. And then I think there's 2 more after that I need. And I'll be able to wrap up Edge in a nice little bow and be done with him. And then we just talked about it a little bit ago, but I got a lot. And we got Jay Lethal in that lot. So if I ever do an unboxing video of those TNA figures, I won't unbox that Jay Lethal. I already got one unboxed. We'll show it, we'll talk about it, and then I'll just do the old 1-2 switcheroo. Oh, look, Jay Lethal out of the package. So very cool, very nice. Got the old machismo on the back tights. Love Jay Lethal during this time period, that's for sure. So I got that. 1 figure left, and this might be a shocker. Well, it shouldn't be a shocker. You guys wouldn't have known this. You guys know I have every single Elite WWE Mattel Elite ever. I have every single one. You know, I currently, what I could, I guess, be getting, which I do not have yet, is the Chase Rick Rude from Elite 77. I mean, that's hasn't even really hit stores yet, so I need that one. Same with the Freddie Blassie from that line. He's the Chase figure for Walmart, I believe it is. I still need that one. But outside of those two, I have every Elite ever. I mean, everything. But there's a few that didn't meet my requirements for my collection, and here is one I replaced. I don't see this one up very often. It was up on Mercari. This isn't my favorite Jerry Lawler figure. The best Jerry Lawler figure I think probably ever is the 2-pack with Andy Kaufman and Jakks Classic, or the opposite version of this when he had the cool goatee from the Target Hall of Fame Mattel set. But here is the regular Elite line Jerry Lawler. More his WrestleMania look, I guess you would say. Mine, the crown was kind of broken and scuffed up. So I finally played the long game, found one at a cheap price, and said, you know what, I'm going to replace that Jerry Lawler figure. And that is exactly what I did. So there's Jerry Lawler, and that is it. That's it for weekly purchases this week. So like I told you guys, a mixed bag, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a lot of news at the beginning. There's just a lot of stuff going on. Make sure you're checking out the other videos on the channel. We talked about that too, but I think there's some good content you guys will enjoy. So every day I got a new video until I can't. I got tons of stuff I can present, and then one day maybe it'll go down to 5 videos a week. Who knows? But as of right now, I'll keep cranking them out for you guys. Hope you're enjoying. Don't forget to like the videos. Don't forget to comment. Tell me what you guys got this week. I love going back and forth, talking to you guys, hearing what you're seeing, and having you guys as some of my extra eyes and ears out there. I keep my ears to the streets for the figures. Not quite as much as old Waylon Jennings, it seems like. But I do keep abreast of what's going on out there. But feel free to tell me stuff. Communicate on there. And then, of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We keep growing every single day. We get new followers. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys taking the time to watch my videos and care about my videos. Besides that, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, SirPaul64. And on Instagram at @the_Kyle_Peterson. On Instagram. I'm on there posting figures of the day, all kinds of news, some of my pickups, you name it on there. Besides that, that is it. It's been a long-winded video, but that's it for now. Much more to come soon. But I appreciate all you guys watching, and we'll see you guys real soon.